answers that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Oh, these are the ones with H.P. Lovecraft's face in.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
Arkham Anthology. Corpus Hermeticum. Collection of texts on different beliefs was written by a legendary philosopher. It includes the translation of the Emerald Tablet, a popular text among 16th century alchemists. The volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural. That's quite... Holy shit, there's a lot of stuff to click.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Volume 3, Arkham Anthology. Things That Should Not Be, a collection of essays on American folklore and urban legends written by Albert Wilmarth. Wilmarth? Albert Wilmarth, professor at Miskatonic University. Was Wilmarth in Dunwich Horror? Maybe. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a collection of written works and citizens.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Aura Linden. An ancient Frisian manuscript translated by William R. Sandbach. William R. Sandbach. Text claims that in the distant past, Europe and other continents were controlled by the mothers of these people, and moreover that our alphabet is derived from the Frisian language. Very
Arkham
interesting.
Editions. Never heard of him.
Ever heard of him? G. Pierce, you're such a Sherlock. A collection of long-term astrological predictions written in verse, written by Nostradamus, translated by E. Leone and Theophilus Whitebridge. Damn these names.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Volume 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Opera in 8 acts by Benvenuto Citti Brodigera, an infamous lyrical work published in Italy in 1768. It is said that the opera was performed only once, resulting in an audience riot that left several dead and missing. Ooh.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Key of Solomon, a book of spells supposedly written by the legendary King Solomon. It contains various rituals of invocation and rituals of curse. Re-edition by Claudia D. Waits, based on L.W. De Lawrence's original.
Arkham Editions. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Azathoth and the Other Horrors. Collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby. He's in A Thing on the Doorstep. Also known as the Nightmare Lyrics, his collection of poems was sensationally received when first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. That's true. That's actually a book by Derby.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Isis Unveiled. A book of esoteric philosophy. My phone, which I'm using to preview my stream, I just got startled by it. I got scared of my own phone. A book of esoteric philosophy and a key text in Madame Blavatsky's Theosophical Movement, written by Elena Petrovna Blavatsky. Is there something else to be discovered here? Or that's the oil? Yes.
Things are not looking good.
Oh. Oh, I can listen to them here. Cylinder thing only.
A kind of chalice.
This goblet seems to be very ancient. It seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stones. Precious stones. Do the rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif? I don't know. The rubies and sapphires. What about the emeralds? Kind of chalice. I wouldn't keep that on the like right next to a window. In a place like this. Dark water. We should start listening to the volumes. Or the cylinders. I want to listen to the first one I found. First? Oh, it's only the Drake cylinder. Listen.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Okay. Open the safe.
The chalice of knowledge.
Chalice of knowledge.
The Queen has little protection.
Oh, very true. The last one? That's the Azathoth book.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
The key of relay. Didn't notice that first. Okay. The red drops. The amount of rubies in the chalice of knowledge.
The chalice of knowledge.
Five rubies.
The Queen has little protection.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the
That's
Grail
5.
does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
That's like the amount of whites, maybe?
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham edition
And
that
this
you
is
sent me.
the number of the volume.
Volume 9,
9.
Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
4, 5, 4, 9. Volume 9.
What did Drake say about this collection?
5, 4, 9. Right. Validate. Validate? 9th volume. 5 rubies. Thing. Chessboard that I'm not quite grasping. Maybe that's 4? 4?
The Queen has little protection.
Amount of soldiers. The 3 white soldiers. Not the black ones. 3 white soldiers. Only 3? What 3? Five, 3, 9. That's the Necronomicon? Might be. Holy shit. We're in for a treat. Yes, that's the Necronomicon. Ja, ja. Cthulhu vertagen.
Ja, ja. Cthulhu vertagen.
Riverside Institute, back again. Riverside Institute. In the nameless bookstore, Pierce traced the trail of an attempted burglary. He discovered that Charles Hawkins was behind the attempt. He has opened the bookseller's safe to find that the latter and Sarah Hawkins had hidden there a book covered in human skin. Lied inside. Irresistibly attracted detective. A book covered in human skin lied inside. Irresistibly attracted to detective. He opened it. Mind was projected into another body. Oh.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, Can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
He is catatonic.
What can you tell me about him?
He was highly agitated an hour ago. We were about to tie him down when he fell asleep. 10 minutes ago, he curled up into a fetal position. I thought he was waking up, but no.
What are his symptoms?
His temperature has been going down, his skin losing its color, his body rigid. I closed his eyes myself. They were glassing over. I didn't want them to dry out, and I couldn't bear to look at the expression on his face.
You did well. Don't worry. Let's stay professional, if you will. Show me his file.
That's not possible.
Don't tell me Dr. Fuller has taken this file as well. We need it.
That's why I called you. This man's ailment has been hidden from us.
Come on now. What was he treated for?
An intoxication, I was told, after inhaling chemicals.
I don't recognize him. Did he just arrive on the island?
He said he worked on the docks, but not with Captain Fitzroy. I think he works for Ms. Baker.
Who?
You know, the woman at the head of their gang. They call her Cat.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Do you have other questions?
I know enough.
That'll do for the time being.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Has he been drugged?
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough
Damn.
for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Okay. Let's examine the patient.
Very well. I'll examine him.
Blub dub dub.
30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
He's dead? He's dang dead?
His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Unlocked answer. He has something in his belly.
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth.
State of his limbs is worrisome.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, If there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have
They're
to.
tentacles. He's severely
I see
dehydrated.
signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier,
He seemed to feel better?
yes, like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
He's turning into a fish. His body is mutating.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients, provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
You're turning him into a monster.
I've seen suction cups on his fingers, his falling body temperature, his dehydration. Had I only read the report, you know what I would have concluded, Doctor.
Do I? Tell me anyway. I'm curious.
He's no longer human. These are the attributes of an animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Okay.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Nobody mentioned crimes. For now. Stay out of this. Hidden files are proof. Maybe?
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep Mum.
I'll keep Mum.
An unknown medicine. Judging by the other ones, it causes heavy side effects.
I'd like a sip of that. Please. Hiding cabinets.
This place draws you in and never lets you go.
Never let you go. Never let you go.
Chronic insomnia. Like half the island.
Chronic insomnia. Never let you go.
Hay fever. What's he doing here?
Fucking fireplace.
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
What do you feel?
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right
Sodium
away.
bicarbonate?
Thank you. He's in your hands.
Game saved.
He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
Ah, the whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
What happened there? Tell me about it another time. The bootleggers? What happened there?
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back.
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
The old whaling station.
I'll just sleep a bit more.
He's not an insomniac.
Why did nobody tell me about her admission?
Her admission. Irene Sanders. She's here too? File describes the state in which Irene Sanders entered the Riverside Institute, as well as the treatments administered for her. Fuller added a handwritten note. He recommends take her down to the psychiatric wing in order to provide her with the quiet and rest that she needs. Quiet and rest.
Mrs. Sanders?
Looks like a doll. Damn. Woo. Who are you?
She recently came back from the surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney.
Okay. Flipping drop piece.
What is the boiler room key doing here? The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it. The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it. Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Black glue goo dance.
Dr. Colden, here you are at last.
Hey,
This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination. He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling. His binds left bloody wounds.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
Taking care with wounds.
You did good work. The tranquilizer is kicked in. Now you can disinfect and bandage his wounds.
Thank you, Doctor. And as to his weight loss?
I'll prescribe an antifungal treatment for his dysgeusia. In the meantime, feed him intravenously.
It'll be done.
It'll be done. Game saved. These guys.
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I saw her. She's fine.
I've tended to her, and I have good news. Her blood analysis is reassuring. Her kidneys are as new.
Are you talking about the same person? This is miraculous.
She's still recovering, but you may speak to her upon her awakening.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
Hippocratic oath. Kitchen? Cleaning man.
Watch out for the water, Doctor.